Hello everyone, I'm Anshik from Ace Arts and today we'll be drawing Tony Stark. So I'll begin with the eye, coloring it with brown ochre and giving it a light shade with walnut brown. I also use turquoise blue for some light effect. Then I use white to make sclera, and I'll use brown ochre for darker skin tone, and I'll use some warm grey to give it some shadow, and then we'll be continuing off by using some ivory by mixing it with some light flesh and cream color to give it yellowish look. After doing the eyebrow with black and brown colors, we'll begin with nose. I'll use some magenta, as in the reference picture there's some magenta color in it. After using light flesh and everything for skin tones, I used yellow ochre for more yellowish look. Then I'll begin with then I'll use medium flesh and light flesh, and for the darker areas I'll use Kaput Morton and some dark flesh, and I'll just use ivory color to not make it so bright. And how I did the mustache is that I actually used some burnt siennas and walnut brown and some black color to give it some more depth. And if you want more realistic facial hair, I suggest you using skin colors first to make it seem like it's coming out of the skin. So I just color it with black color continuously. Then I'll use some brown color to give it some depth. Then for the light reflecting off his face, I'll use some magenta color to give it some pinkish tone. What I did to give it a little more orangish tone, I used some burnt ochre for it, and to blend it I used cream color for the whole skin. So even with the magenta color I used some light flesh and cream color for better blending. I'll use black color for the darkest area and walnut brown for the middle, and for the lightest area I'll use burnt sienna. And what I actually do is I stroke the pencil with the sharp point, so it actually looks like the hair are going somewhere, and it gives it more realistic look, except of that smudgy muddy look. And another tip, what you can do for the eye is that you could use warm gray tone to give it a more depth, so it would look more realistic. So now what I'm doing is I'm coloring the jacket, and I'll use black color for some blending with pencil colors. Then you could also use a marker for. If you want to learn how to do the background, I'll teach you in the next video. Please just comment down below if you want to learn about it. Now please enjoy the video by listening to this music.
Everybody wants a happy ending, right? But it doesn't always roll that way. Maybe this time. I'm hoping if you play this back, it's in celebration. I hope families are reunited. I hope you get it back and it's something like a normal version of the planet has been restored. If there ever was such a thing. God, what a world. Universe now. If you told me 10 years ago that we weren't alone, let alone, to this extent, I mean, I wouldn't have been surprised, but come on, who knew? The epic forces of darkness and light that have come into play. And for better or worse, that's the reality Morgan's gonna have to find a way to grow up in.
So I thought I'd probably better record a little breathing in the case of an untimely death on my part. I mean, not that death at any time isn't untimely.
This time travel thing that we're gonna try and pull off tomorrow, it's got me scratching my head about the survivability of it. That's the thing. And again, that's the hero gig. Part of the journey is the end. What am I even tripping for? Everything's gonna work out exactly the way it's supposed to. I love you 3000.